So I didn't really get as much reading in as I wanted to, but if you were kind of sticking around the channel over the past week, I did do a little check-in video, and I talked about the vanished birds, what I did plan to take with me on the trip. I got to about the 40% mark, guys, and which is part 1 of the book, and I tapped out and said it's not for me. Now, I was a little more crass in my video while I was under the influence of old grandpa's old cough medicine there, but with this, guys, it was not for me, like at all. And I mean, you know, so many viewers had told me they were glad that I was reading it, but they were pretty sure I wasn't going to like it. Now, I think the reasons they thought I wasn't going to like it, I don't think that's true, because I've heard a lot of people be like, oh, it has this theme and that theme and this, and I don't think that's something that's going to relate to you. Like, I don't have to have an author tell me a story about ideals in the real world that I agree with to like the books. I mean, I've read people with the craziest political ideals. I've read Ayn Rand. Stephen King's my favorite author ever. I've read both sides of the craziness when it comes to extremism in your world ideals. That doesn't bother me with the story. That isn't what bothered me about The Vanished Birds. The Vanished Birds, it had the most incredible first chapter. The first chapter was just spectacular. I was like, oh, this is great. This is going to be a great time. Unfortunately, right after that, yeah, it really, really just went downhill quick. And I kept giving it a chance, I was like, don't think it's going to turn around. And I think that chapter 1 was just a prologue / anomaly for the rest of this book, because it didn't feel like that the rest of the way. For me, I wish that all these authors had never seen a Quentin Tarantino movie, because I feel like they can't just write a damn linear story anymore. They have to jump around between multiple timelines, and they have to just do it so sporadically that you just get taken out of it, to the point to where it's just like, is this happening now? This happened in the past? I don't know. I don't care. And the thing is like the timeline where it kept doing the flashback, I just could care less about the character. It didn't interest me at all. The storyline was very, very boring. And there's just something that I feel like authors do now, where they feel like they just have to write the protagonist as just vapid, unlikable people. And I just don't understand. And even if you just like call out, hey, I know I'm acting childish, but I'm going to do it anyway, your character's still acting childish, and it's very difficult for me to read it. So, again, I'm not trashing Mr. Jimenez's talents or anything. Very good writer. The story just wasn't for me. I wish he could have just told a linear storyline, and I wish he could have focused on the story that I was interested in, which was this child, and not all the people around him and all the things that happened in the past to make this world what it was. So a miss for me, guys. I don't DNF books very often, but I can tell when one isn't going to be for me. And I have talked to Brian and John and Philip, who I'm going to be doing the discussion with. Yes, the discussions are still going to happen. I think that actually give it a little bit more life when one of us has DNF'd it. I feel like Philip loves everything, obviously. I love that Philip loves everything. Again, that's not me taking away. Somebody thought that was disrespectful. I didn't mean that as disrespect. Philip loves everything. I love that about Philip. He can always find the redeeming stuff in any book, regardless of if everyone in the world could hate it, and Philip would find a way to say, this is why it is great. And that's what I love about Philip. He is just the constant of positivity, and I love that. We need that in our lives, guys. We do. But I felt like John liked it a little bit more than Brian did, maybe. But I feel like Brian's a little bit more mixed to positive. So it seems like you're going to get 3 thumbs up and a big fat thumbs down from me. That's my guess. But I don't know. I've had lots of people saying, are you guys still going to have this conversation? Yes, we are still going to have this talk about the Vanished Birds. But I always encourage you guys to make up your own mind. For sure, make up your own mind. If you think you will like it, go ahead and pick it up. Don't take my word for it. But again, I don't DNF books very often, and that I was actively looking for anything else to do while on this cruise.